Hi friends, hope you're doing well. It's the early hours of Sunday morning, September 17th, 2023, and I'd like to share something with you. I'm just going to read that for you. This is from Teachings of the Temple. Of course, it appears backwards, but I promise not to read it backwards or to make it sound backwards. And if I can avoid that, the teachings of the temple are dictated by Master Hilarion. We know him historically as St. Paul. He was also the Neoplatonic philosopher Iamblichus. And the lesson is number 194. It's on as a grain of mustard seed. And a lot of times these days I hear reference to if you had faith the size of this grain of mustard seed, you could move that there, yonder mountain, and so forth. I love that part from King of Kings, my favorite of all of the movies about the gospel story. And I'm not going to be able to do this. It's a little bit of a sermon. There are 5 paragraphs here. I'll be able to cover them pretty quickly. And I probably can't do them justice, although I'd love to hear the teacher share a little bit of his fire as he relays them. This is from 1925 approximately, possibly before that. So just because they're about 100 years back shouldn't make them any less relevant today. He does refer to Jesus of Nazareth and this business of faith. And I believe what he's saying, I might comment on it at the end if any inspiration comes, but other than that, I just plan to share this with you. So what he says is that one of the greatest hindrances to understanding the purpose and accomplishing the given result of directions imparted to his disciples by an initiate of the White Lodge lies in the efforts made by the disciples to confuse the issue and refuse to believe that the simple natural form in which it is given does not hide some abstruse problem which requires divine wisdom to solve. No statement made by Jesus of Nazareth to his disciples or to the multitude conveyed a deeper truth or one couched in more simple language than did that which runs as follows. If ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say to this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove. End quote. Yet that statement has been made the base of tomes of literature of various kinds. It is used as the fundamental tenet of any number of faith cures, as it well might be if it were accepted as it was given. A simple statement of fact. Faith is a mighty engine, and like other engines, it requires a definite form of power. A well-qualified engineer and a given purpose, if anything, is to be accomplished by its use. But it is something more than an engine. It is a superhuman instrument which has grown by accretion and according to the laws which govern its plane of existence. You will note that Jesus said, faith as a grain of mustard seed. The word as holds the clue to whatever mystery may be accredited to the statement. In order to grow, a mustard seed is planted in the earth, that is, in darkness, coldness, shut away from its kind, alone. There it lies until the natural laws which govern growth, the application of moisture, heat, and the nourishment of Mother Earth have brought it to germination, burst its shell, and shot it up into another plane of existence, that is, into the light and life of the sun and air. Yet in the application of faith, the average believer in its power would seek for a full-grown entity whose power of accomplishment was phenomenal. That is, mere belief in its existence was sufficient to accomplish miracles, despite the fact that this believer may deny the possibility of miracles, and rightly so, as there are no miracles, this very matter of faith being a proof of the truth of that statement. The faith by which great deeds are done by man must develop and grow under circumstances that exactly correspond to the growth of the mustard seed. It is not a ready-made tool for use at any moment and by anyone. I do think Paul knows women, but anyway, more so than some people seem to believe then and certainly now. But what would I know of that? Anyway, it is as a seed in the soul of man and must develop under conditions analogous to those of the mustard seed. As the seed develops in the darkness and coldness and loneliness of earthly life and grows by the light of the central sun, it becomes like unto the mighty engine to which I have referred. But then that engine must be operated according to the laws of the plane it has entered. The nucleus of the seed of the mustard will not permit that seed to expand into an oak tree. It will only grow mustard. Neither will the nucleus of faith develop any other attribute or thing. It will always be just faith, one of the mighty engines by which the Christs build worlds and men and destroy them as forms. What the average person means to convey in his use of the word faith is merely a certain degree of belief in the power of a divine being. What the advanced occultist means by his use of the same word is a universally diffused form or force or energy. In one sense, it might correspond to the action of electrical energy, a form of energy or substance which is one of the constituents of every atom or molecule of physical substance, and therefore, like every other constituent of matter, is capable of growth, extension, expression, and final disintegration and dissolution. The faith which the high initiate has developed in himself is closely akin to the energy of will.